Hey everybody, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We've got a BFE job on a 1KZ diesel happening here. Just want to run through quickly what the differences are with a 1KD. Not a lot of difference, very similar. In case you were unaware, we do have the BFE kits available for you Monday morning, 7:30 AM text message. The 1KZ BFE kit, we don't really use many, so we don't keep them in stock anymore. So there could be a few days delay, that's all. But you can still order Monday morning, and generally it'll be sent out to you within the week sort of thing. It's usually next day for all the other stuff we keep in stock. Everybody knows how quick it is, best customer service in the world. So look, as far as BFE job, check the BFE playlist. There's a playlist on our YouTube channel. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, there's these things called playlists. You know, it's the name of a group of videos. It's a playlist. Watch all of those and you'll get the information. But as far as the 1KZ goes, there's a few different parts included. The timing belt's different. All the other timing belt components are the same. So procedure's pretty much the same on changing the timing belt, lining up those marks down there, pretty much the same thing, because the engine's basically the same bottom end. To put it simple, the bottom of the motor's the same. They've put head, valves, camshafts, intake, injection, and given it a heap more power and torque, and you know, wonder why you got problems. But long story short, you know, it's not exactly that, but it's pretty much that. You can see your marks. Make sure your marks are lined up. Same thing at the top here. It's all pretty much the same as the 1KD, although the 1KD, you can probably see the mark a little bit better. The arrow at the top there where that white mark is, you can see it a bit better. It's different on the 1KD. It's got a little arrowy V, but you know, same mark and all that sort of thing. The belts are different, so you get 3 belts instead of 1, but you get, you know, 1 bearing instead of 4, so it all evens out. We keep the price the same anyway. Bada bing, simple stuff. Watch those videos. You know when to order it. You know what you get. You get the water pump, you know, you get the timing belt, all the timing belt accessories, the bearing, the belts, whatever. Quite a problem on these. Turn the aircon on when it's cold and that sort of thing. Tighten up the belts break and all that sort of thing. So the V belts there, definitely good to replace, probably higher priority than the 1KD. So when you see this video, we're probably going to be sold out, because maybe everybody's going to want to buy one. People are going to want to book in and get the job done, whatever the case may be. So, you know, we'll just deal with it as it happens. Just keep watching videos, get on the Prado Hospital Facebook page if you're ever going to, you know, book into the Prado Hospital or get any of those parts kits. Make sure you got your, you know, ducks in a row, don't they say? So this is all nice and clean. Let's have a look at this radiator. This is that one with the leaking radiator, and I reckon it's got that crack right in there. So give it a good, we've got a new radiator here. It's not busted off yet though. You can see that right in the middle of the picture, right? So you might need a radiator as well. Anyway, this is going to be a bit of a mixed BFE, mixed bag BFE information job. This is a brand new radiator for a 120 1KD. What was in this box is a brand new radiator for a 120 1KZ, which is cheaper. Yes, the 1KZ. I promise you, I used to price these, they were $2,000. The 1KZ diesel radiator now, about $650, right? I'm not saying you can't get a little bit cheaper, but for genuine, I reckon it's reasonable. I think the 121, this is still the dearest, the 120 diesel. Don't know how much the V6 one is. Don't see enough of those to know, and they can't afford the genuine one after paying for all the petrol anyway. Stu just can't afford it. But at the end of the day, yeah, we compared the pair, and they're almost identical. They are different radiators, as in you can see different shapes and design and stuff like that. But as far as mounting goes, we believe, you know, these mounting points here and where all the hoses are, the drain, we believe it would work, but we haven't done it. We believe it will work. It looks the same. So it's a different radiator, but it's the same size, same mounting, same connection points. It's a 120. So if I had my time again, instead of ordering this radiator for a 120 1KD, my vehicle, I put a 1KZ one in there to be able to say, hey, yep, this is what we did, because these ones are about $880 or something like that retail. I can't remember, 800 and something. So you're going to save a good couple of hundred if you get the 1KZ one, but I can't guarantee it fits, but it looks like it will. So if anybody does it, let us know. Put in the comments, say, look, I put a 1KZ diesel 120 genuine radiator in my 1KD, and it definitely fits, no problem. So yeah, we see some differences, but it looks the same. Out here now, we've got everything pretty well pulled apart and cleaned up. New water pumps on, because we don't want to get all dirty stuff in the engine, in the coolant system. So everything comes off, it gets cleaned with the new water pump in position. to keep all that sealed up. It's been blown dry, now it's just out in the heat and the wind, just having a bit of a final dry up before we start putting it all back together. But the new radiator, as you can see, is in. So a little bit of information on that for people. The whole reason it got replaced, in case you missed it in one of the other videos, it was in an inspection video. And once again, check out the playlist with it's called service inspection. That's because if you're servicing your vehicle, if you're going to be servicing your own vehicle, if you're going to be inspecting vehicles to purchase one, that's your top playlist to watch all the videos to the end, so you get really familiar with what these things look like underneath and under the bonnet, having a look around, so you know what to look for and whatever, because we point out all the good and bad things about it, you know. So it was, I believe it was cracked around here. There was certainly coolant leaking down, so it was coming from somewhere. So it's got a brand new genuine radiator. Yep, 650 bucks worth. Beautiful, pretty good value for money. Good for another, what is it, 16? Did we say this is 2024? It's 18 years. Good for another 18 years, mate. Look, and isn't this nice new clean radiator? Isn't this going to work? Look at that. That's going to work better than the dirty old one, isn't it? For sure, with new water pump, timing belt, idler, tensioner, drive belts, bearing. Just be careful with these drive belts, people. You've got to be careful because the V belts are one of those ones that always slip. So it's really, you've got to be careful tensioning them up. You don't want to over tighten and load up your bearings and stuff too much, but you don't want to leave it loose. So it's a matter of, you've got to put the belt on, you adjust it up nicely, then you've actually got to drive the vehicle, then let it cool down and come and have another feel of the belt, check the belt deflection, and readjust it as required. Okay, and just tell the customer if there's any, rather than over tighten it, just say, look, if there's any, you know, squealing, anything when it's cold, when you got the aircon on when you start up cold, then you can bring it back for a quick adjustment. It's really easy to adjust anyway. The lock nut's on the pulley that's not here at the moment, and this is your adjuster here, and obviously turning that bolt, you can see, lifts this up and down, tightening and loosening the belt, and then it's the nut here to lock it in. So if you want to adjust it, you just back off the nut a little bit. So if you've got a 1KZ and you turn the aircon on this time of the year and it's cold in the morning, it's going, you know, there's a good chance it could be that. So you back this nut off a couple of turns and then just adjust that one a little bit, don't over tighten it. And you could break your belts because they're old and they probably need replacing, not just tightening. And of course on the alternator down here, a little bit different to the 1KD, it hasn't got the self-tensioner setup. It's got that adjustment right there. You can see that bolt there, right over here, right, that head there. So of course, once again, you've got to loosen off the lock nut. Where's that everybody said? Down here with no light. See that one down under there? All right. So you loosen him off a bit, so that allows the alternator to slide up and down. See the slot behind the bolt? To slide up and down there, and this is your adjuster, right? So as you tighten that bolt there, it will pull the belt tighter. Once again, you don't want to over tighten. There's two belts there for a reason. It's a really good design. That was actually really good before they thought of the serpentine belts, you know, the big poly rib belt, whatever, you know. So and the quality that Toyota get made from Bando is just second to none. Stick with the genuine belts, like a lot of the genuine parts. Highly recommended genuine parts. There's the old fan hub. Nothing wrong with that. People crap on about fan hubs and maintenance and replacing them and upgrading your fans. There's no need for any of that. This is the fan they designed to work. That's fine. And this is the old radiator, obviously. I mean, look how much crap's in there. The new one's going to work a whole lot better anyway, isn't it? You know, so moving on from that dirty old thing, 18 years old. Okay, so next steps, obviously, like I said, very important to get that timing belt on and take your time to make sure you haven't forgotten to tighten up all the bolts, anything you've loosened, and probably worth checking things you haven't loosened even, maybe, you know. So even if you haven't done the cam seal, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you might check this and make sure it's 98 Newton meters by holding the 22 at the crankshaft with a bigger bar and put your torque wrench on here. Just make sure it's 98. 35, if I remember correctly, and 13 on the two tensioner bolts, the two 10 mil. Or if you're confident like me, you might just grab your 10 mil quarter drive and just go, yep, that's nice, and you'll be within a couple of Newton meters and go, good enough. Oh no, you know, oh yes. All right, so new timing belt. Like I said, different part numbers of the 1KD, but the idler and the tension is the same. Cam seal's the same, I believe, but I could be wrong, so don't trust me on everything. You can go and do some backup checks. Water pump's the same, yeah, water pump, that's the same on, yeah, so same, different, same. Water pump's on, timing belt's on. We've got to double check all these bolts, cover it up. You like that little bit of moly coat on the edge there, so where the rubber makes contact, it just closes up that little gap. That's what we do. That'll be going on the cover. Then of course the new drive belts. You need to only buy 2 because 2 of them come in a kit of 2 if you buy the genuine, if you know what I mean. So you're kind of buying 2 belts, but the bag's got 2 belts in it, if you know what I mean. So you're really buying 3 belts for the price of 2. It's actually pretty good. Same price, yeah, crazy. So you get 1 for 1 price and you get 2 for 1 price. Does that make sense? Or is it a bit backwards inside out? Anyway, whatever. Let's get this bearing pressed because we need to replace this bearing as well. And yeah, get it back on the belts and get this fan airing back in, and bada bing, job's done. And it'll be catch on the next video. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss stuff. And yeah, more info in the BFE playlist if you want more than what you got now. If you got something, hit the like button. See you in the next one.